Morning, students. Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yesterday we discussed about structure of pond ecosystem and components of pond ecosystem and the functions of pond ecosystem that we discussed in previous class, right? Now I am going to introduce stratification of pond ecosystem. Stratification. Stratification of pond ecosystem. Actually, what is stratification? Stratification is nothing but it is a arrangement of water depth in a pond, that is called stratification of pond ecosystem. If you take a pond ecosystem where you can find different layers that you see in the structure of pond ecosystem, right? So that is called stratification. Actually, the term stratification refers to arrangement of different layer of a water body, right? So for example, in pond, so that is called stratification of pond ecosystem. Simply, it is going to deal us the arrangement of different layer in a pond ecosystem. That is called the stratification of pond ecosystem, right? Actually, if you take a pond, there will be three layers. The stratification is divided into the following types in pond ecosystem, right? The first one is littoral zone. The first zone is a littoral zone. The first type is a littoral zone. The second one is profundal zone or limnatic zone. The second zone is a limnatic zone. And third one, profundal zone. Profundal. Actually, there are three layers in any pond ecosystem, right? If you see any pond ecosystem, you can find there are three layers. What are they? The first layer is a littoral zone. Actually, littoral zone is very closer to shore of the pond ecosystem. If you take a water body, any water body, you can say shore region. I mean, the boundary line of it is a place where you can see the water level and the ground level. I mean, the soil which are joined together at a point that is called littoral zone, right? And the second one is a limnatic zone. Actually, limnatic zone, it is one of the layer of a pond ecosystem in which you can say the penetration of light is very high and the depth of the water is very lower and it is always warm up. The water is very warm in nature and the light can be penetrated easily, right? It is the upper part of the pond ecosystem, right? Whereas the third layer is a profundal zone. Actually, profundal zone is nothing but it is a third layer of pond ecosystem in which there is no presence of light and it is very deeper depth of the water body, particularly you can say in pond ecosystem, right? So this is simply different layers of pond ecosystem, right? And let me show you the different layers of pond ecosystem that is called stratification. It is an aquatic habitat in which you can see three layers, right? Let me show the layer that you can understand very clearly, right? Now, this is a pond ecosystem, right? If you take a pond ecosystem and in which there are three layers are there, right? Dear students, so you can understand. And the first zone is a littoral zone, right? This is a littoral zone. It is a zone number 1 or layer number 1. And it is very closer to the soil particle. And where you can see a number of organisms. Here, it is a place where origin of producer. Here you can see all the producer. A producer or originated from the zone of littoral, right, of a pond ecosystem. So simply I can say littoral zone is a place where you can see the large number of producers occupying on the shore region of a pond ecosystem. So that is the only place which provides food material to the pond ecosystem. That's why it is a producer. So there is a littoral zone which provides only source, I mean, the food material or obtained or produced by littoral zone. The littoral zone consists of a number of producers, right? All the greenish plants are occupied in the shore region, hence it is involved in synthesis of food material. So if you take this pond ecosystem, you can say a producer, consumer, and decomposer. So except the producer and consumer and the decomposer, they may obtain their own food from the producer, from the region that is a littoral zone. Dear students, now what do you understand about the littoral zone? No, littoral zone. Could you tell me littoral zone? What do you mean by littoral zone? Students, am I audible? Do you understand what I ask you?
Yes, sir.
The littoral zone is the place where you can see greenish plant. Yesterday we discussed about algae, some floating plant, rooted plants, submerged categories, right? Could you list out any plants which are originated in the littoral zone? Yesterday we discussed Icornia.
Icornia, Wolfia, Pistia.
Nilumbo. Right? Could you remember? Okay, so it is very close to the shore region. Shore is nothing, it is a boundary of the pond ecosystem. Okay, the next one is a second layer is a limnatic zone. Actually, limnatic zone is a second layer of stratification of pond ecosystem in which you can say the light which emits from the sun, actually light which emits from the sun, and they can pass easily just deep of the water body. If you take a pond ecosystem, they can be easily penetrated into limnatic zone, right? So limnatic zone can be penetrated by light which is emitted from this sunlight, right? So which of the following zone is easily emitted or penetrated by sunlight? That is a question. If it is asked, you get answer limnatic zone. Which of the following zone is easily penetrated by sunlight? That is a question. It is going to be asked both the NEET as well as in your board exam, right? So what's your option? Sunlight can be easily penetrated by limnatic. Dear students, did you understand what I mean? Students, am I audible? Students?
Yes, sir.
If you understand, just could you share something which are related to limnatic zone? Here, I'm seeing the picture, you can understand the sunlight which falls on the surface of water, which can be easily penetrated through the limnatic zone. And very next zone, you can find a prefrontal zone. Actually, prefrontal zone is nothing, it is the bottom of the water body of the pond ecosystem, right? In which there is no possibilities for penetration of light. Yes, student. Please understand, profundal zone is the layer of pond ecosystem where you find there is no possibilities for penetration of light. So it is very deeper than that of a limnatic zone. So it is very deeper. I mean, it is a third layer of third zone of pond ecosystem where there is no penetration of light. Hence, there will be no producer. So that is the thing. We have to understand here, profundal zone, it does not consist of any producer, but where some consumer also occupied just behind the profundal zone. So such a layer is called as a benthic zone. Actually, benthic zone is nothing but it is a region where you can find just behind the profundal zone. I mean, some organisms, some microorganism may occupy just bottom of the pond ecosystem, that is called a benthic zone or benthic forms. Those organisms are occupied at the bottom of pond ecosystem. They are called benthic forms. They are called benthic forms. No, benthic forms are nothing but it is an organism which occupies at the bottom of the pond ecosystem that lies just behind the profundal zone. So that is the thing to understand. Yes, student, please understand. Benthic zone, where there will be no presence of light, it is prevented by a profundal zone, but even it is prevented by the sunlight by the profundal zone, but some organisms may be occupied at the benthic zone. They are simply consumer. They are not a producer. They are consumer. Right. So it is very deeper than that of a profundal zone. So benthic zone, which is very deeper, I can say it is found at the bottom of the simply profundal zone. No, that is called the benthic zone. Actually, benthic zone is a zone where you can find some organisms which are said to be as a benthic forms. Simply you can say some organisms, some consumer are present in the bottom of the pond ecosystem. They are said to be as a benthic forms, right? Such a zone is considered to be as a benthic zone. Benthic forms is an organism which occupies a zone that is a benthic zone. So that is the difference between benthic zone and benthic forms, right? Okay, so this is simply something about stratification of pond ecosystem. Now, stratification is nothing but this arrangement of a different layer of a pond ecosystem. On seeing the pond ecosystem, you can find there are three major zones. The one is a littoral zone where you can see producer, and it is a region where you can find some algae, some filamentous algae, some hydrophytes, some hydrophytic member that we discussed, right? Some Nelumbo, Hydrilla, Sagittaria, Rennet, so many plants are occupied from the littoral zone. So it is the only region which provides food material to the living organism of a pond ecosystem, right? And second, it is the limnatic zone. Actually, limnatic zone is one of the layer of a pond ecosystem where you can see the light can be easily penetrated, right, into limnatic zone, and it is a source for all the some organisms, some phytoplanktons are also floating. So it is a region where you can find some microorganisms, zooplanktons, some submerged categories are also floating or living in the region of limnatic zone, right? And third zone is the profundal zone. Actually, it is a zone of an ecosystem where you find there is no presence of light, there is no presence of organism, right? So it is a region that consists of no formation of living organism. But just behind the profundal zone, you can see some microorganisms which are occupied at the bottom of organism. They are called benthic forms. It may be bacteria or some fungus, or it may be considered to be some algae also. Some algae, some microalgae also present in the bottom of the pond ecosystem. So such organisms is said to be as a benthic forms. Such a zone is known as the benthic zone. So right, this is a very important and interesting the topic, right? To understand, right? Okay. So one more thing we have to understand here, which of the following zone is totally prevented penetration of light? That is a question, right? If it is asked, just you get answer, profundal zone. Dear student, now could you tell me, which of the following zone of pond ecosystem is totally prevented sunlight?
Profundal zone.
Profundal zone. Once again, could you mention the organism found in bottom of the pond ecosystem? Could you mention the organism which are living in the bottom of the organism? They are called benthic forms. The benthic forms are present in the region of pond ecosystem, which is considered to be as which is known as simply, which is known as benthic zone. Benthic zone, right? Now, did you understand what I taught to you today?
Yes, sir.
And one more thing you have to understand, in between limnatic zone and the profundal zone, where you find the light compensation level. Actually, it is a point of light compensation point, right? So it is very deeper than the of limnatic zone, right? It is the middle part where you can see profundal zone. Just upper side, upper part of the profundal zone, you can see some there is no way or possibilities for penetration of light. So totally it is prevented by upper surface of the profundal zone. So that is a thing of simply profundal zone, right? Okay. So next we pass on to benefits of ecosystem. So yesterday we started the ecosystem, pond ecosystem and structure of ecosystem, and today we continued stratification of pond ecosystem. Now I am going to discuss with you about benefits of ecosystem. What are the benefits? Benefits of ecosystem. That means what is the usage of this ecosystem for mankind? Actually, Earth is the largest biosphere, right? Largest ecosystem, largest biosphere that provides all the resources, right, into flow of goods and services for mankind. That is called the benefits. Simply benefits are nothing but it is defined as the production of food material which are provided by the nature for mankind. They are called benefits, right? Actually, benefits are nothing but it is a benefits or production of food material by the nature which are provided to human being. They are called benefits, right? So actually, these benefits it was first reported by Robert Comstock in the year of 1927. Constanza, right? In the year of 1927. Robert Constanza, right? In the year of 1927, was the first man to be defined, to be reported the benefits of ecosystem, right? So according to again, all the sources are provided by the nature for mankind. They are called benefits. So such as this ecosystem which provides for mankind land, the first sources or the first benefits source, right? And the first benefit is land. The ecosystem which provides the first benefit is land, and second one is water, right? Second one is water, right? Water is essential for sustaining everyone's for running their for everyday life, right? And third one is vegetation. The third category is vegetation. If you take any ecosystem, whether pond ecosystem or grassland ecosystem or forest ecosystem or parasitic ecosystem or whatever it may be, So it provides vegetation. Now the vegetation to which act as a producer, they may occupy in trophic level 1 or T2. So always a vegetation which occupies T1 of a trophic structure, right? Okay, and one more thing, it also provides atmosphere, right? It also provides atmosphere. So these are all the benefits, right? The first one is the land, second one is the water, third one is the vegetation, and fourth one is the atmosphere or circulation for cycling of gases, for exchanging of gases, right? So simply I can say the land which it provides a shelter for each human being and animals also, and it also plays where the origin of the producer, right? And simply I can say it is a flow of goods and service by the nature, right? Simply benefits are nothing but it is a flow of carrying of goods and services provided by the nature to human being. Simply I can say it is a flow of goods and services provided by nature. Simply goods and services provided by nature for mankind, right? So that is very important. Okay. Next we pass on to some based on the utility of nature. These services are broadly divided into following types. As I said, simply ecosystem provides goods, food, timber, fiber, fuel, everything, right? So the flow of carrying of goods and services for mankind, which are provided by nature, that is called the benefits. Now, the benefits are broadly divided into following types, right? The benefits are broadly divided into following types, right? The first type is provision services. I'm talking about it is of following types, right? Benefits of following types. The first category is the provision services. Provision services. Provision services. So that is the first category. The second one is cultural services or cultural benefits. The second category is cultural services. And third category is supporting services. Third one is supporting services. Then fourth category is recreation. So these are all the right. So they are the or recreation regulating services. They can say regulating services. So these are all the services of benefits or simply benefits of ecosystem. Benefits, it is similar to the top service of ecosystem for human being, right? That is called the benefits or services. Simply you can say write about the services of ecosystem or write about the benefits of ecosystem. So simply the benefits of ecosystem can be categorized into following types. The first one is provision services or provision benefits. Second one is cultural services or cultural benefits. Third category is supporting services or supporting benefits for mankind provided by the nature. And the fourth one is regulating benefits or regulating services provided by the nature of ecosystem for human being, right? So first of all, let me take the first service, provision services. Let me take the first category is provision services. Provisions services. So the provision services simply that includes food, 3 F's. The provision services which are majorly, right? I can say the first one is food, 3 F's. I can say 3 F's. What are 3 F's? The first F is a food, and the second F is fiber, and third F is fuel. So this provide ecosystem which provides a food for consumer and decomposer. It also provides the fiber, right? The fiber is necessary for textile industry, right? Textile industry depends on fiber, and the fuel. The fuel is essential for running of transport, right? Transport facilities. So that's why the first provision is 3 F's. What are 3 F's? Food, fiber, fuel. Dear students, could you tell me what are 3 F's of first provisions? Provisions. I'm talking about provision services. What are 3 F's?
Food, fiber, and fuel.
Food, fiber, and fuel, which are highly essential for everyone's life, which are provided by ecosystem. If you take a pond or a grassland or a forest or tree or aquatic or naturally any, if you take any type of ecosystem, these 3 F's are provided by ecosystem. So that is a major thing, right? That's why I mentioned provision services are food, fiber, fuel, which are obtained from nature by means of ecosystem. Okay. Second one, it also provides genetic resource. It also provides genetic resource. The genetic materials also, the genetic resource also obtained from ecosystem. And one more category, it also provides some biochemicals. It also provides some biochemicals. So the cycling of the chemicals, the biochemicals, and I think the chemicals are obtained from the biological sources. They are needed for sustaining of a living system, right? So that is a biochemicals. And it also provides some medicine in terms of antibiotic, right? In terms of antibiotic, alkaloid, steroid, etc. So it also provides, right, some medicine. Yes, student, please kindly cooperate. Please cooperate. Some medicine. What are medicine? Some antibiotic. Almost 90 to 95% of medicine obtained from only plants. So that's why this ecosystem, which provides some medicine, particularly you can say antibiotics, right? Alkaloid, steroids, right? Corticosteroid. So all the medicines are obtained from ecosystem. That's why I mentioned in provisions services. So medicine, it is also very important product of for ecosystem. Particularly, I can say in forest ecosystem, the medicines are the major product of provision services, right? So these are all the provision services. Okay. Next, we pass on to the second category, that is the cultural services. Cultural services. Let me take the second category. Dear student, I'm talking about the second provisions are nothing but cultural services. I mean cultural benefits of ecosystem. So these type of ecosystem, these type of benefits which are obtained in the form of simply spiritual, right? The first one is spiritual and religious. Spiritual and religious. It also provides a spiritual value and religious value for human beings. Spiritual values and religious value, right? It also provides a knowledge of a forest. It also provides knowledge. It also provides knowledge of a forest, of any ecosystem, then it also provides educational system. It also provides cultural services for educational system. Educational system. Simply the study of plants or recreation, aesthetic sense, everything is obtained. Then it also provides, if you take a forest ecosystem that recreates for human being, that provides recreation value and aesthetic sense to the poets. Aesthetic value, right? So these are all the provisions of cultural. I repeat it again. It plays very important role in spiritual and religious personality. Second one, it also gains more knowledge to the people. And the cultural service, it also provides some benefits for educational system, right? And it also recreates. The cultural services also simply the benefits of forest may recreates for human being and aesthetic value. It also provides aesthetic value. Particularly, I can say to the poets, right? To the poets, it provides aesthetic sense. It also increases aesthetic sense for poet, for naturalists, right? So these are all the cultural services. Okay. Next, we pass on to third benefits and third services. They are supporting services. Supporting services. So what are the supporting or provided by ecosystem? The first one is it also provides production of food material. First of all, it also provides production of food. Production of food for mankind, right? And it also produces, it also makes a habitat. Habitat. There are different habits, right? Hydrophyte, xerophyte, mesophyte, halophyte, thalophyte. So there are several habitat. No habitat is a place. Habitat is a character in which there is a structural changes are occurring in an organism. That is a habitat. So the structural changes which depends upon the habitation of a plant or animal, right? That is simply it provides a habitat for various plant kingdom. Then it also provides a nutrition cycling. It also provides nutrition, right? Nutrition cycling or cycling of nutrients by means of biogeochemical cycle. Then it also provides soil erosion, right? It also provides retention. It also prevents soil erosion and soil retention. Soil erosion is prevented and retention of the soil, right? That means the fertility of the soil is retained, right? That is retention, right? And it also provides sources for oxygen. That's why here it also provides more amount of oxygen. So the green plant which you release oxygen by means of photosynthesis process. So this is one of the benefits of a plant by means of ecosystem, right? So by ecosystem, the green plant may release oxygen. Now, this is oxygen which is balancing the amount of oxygen is needed for a human being or living organism. So simply it provides more amount of oxygen, right? So it provides oxygen facilities for living system. Then the cycling of gaseous or balancing of gases, simply cycling of gases or balancing of gases. So taking of oxygen by living system and the releasing of carbon dioxide by living system, right? During day and night, right? So continuously this cycling of oxygen and the carbon dioxide are balanced by ecosystem. So this is one of the benefits, one of the services of supporting services or supporting benefits of ecosystem, right? Okay, next category is last category, regulating services or regulating benefits. Regulating services. Yes, students, I'm talking about fourth benefits of ecosystem. This is the question you can expect. Very important question, right? In examination point of view, you can expect definitely. It's going to be there in the board examination, right? Write about the benefits of ecosystem, right? If it is asked, you got to give, you got to write as it is, right? So regulating services, first of all, it provides invasion resistance. It provides invasion resistant. Invasive resistance. Okay, that means non-native species. It is a source for it provides a place for non-native sources. Okay, second one, it also plays an important role in pollination process. It also plays an important role in pollination. What is pollination? Could you remember, dear students? It also plays an important role in pollination, or it provides a source for pollinating agent, so they can say, like insects, pests, etc. Okay. Then it also regulates some climatic factors. It also regulates climatic factors. Climatic factors. What are climatic factors? Yes, students. Light, wind, right? Water, temperature, fire, etc. So these are all the climatic factors. So it also regulates climatic factors, and it also controls the pesticide. It also controls pest. Right? It also provides pest and pest regulation. It also controls disease regulation. Then it also controls soil erosion. Soil erosion is also regulated by benefits of ecosystem, right? And one more thing, the last one is natural hazards also prevented by natural hazards. They are very important. Natural hazards. So these are all the benefits of regulating services or regulating benefits, right? So thank you for joining, my dear student. I repeat once again. So far we have discussed stratification, and simply it is nothing but it is the arrangement of a different layer in depth of the water of a pond ecosystem. They are littoral zone, limnatic zone, right? And benefits that we have discussed. It was first noticed by Robert Constance in the year of 1927, right? According to him, who classified these benefits of ecosystem is the provisions, cultural, supporting, and regulating system, right? Regulating services. So it is the benefits of ecosystem provided by the nature in terms of land, water, vegetation, and atmosphere, right? For living organism to the biosphere. It is not just a biosphere, right? So it is carrying in terms of goods and services, right? So what are they? They are categorized under provision services, cultural services, supporting, and regulating. What are provision services? Food, fiber, fuel, genetic resource, biochemical, medicine, cultural services, and spiritual, right? And it also provides more knowledge about ecosystem. Then it also provides source for education system, and it also recreates and it gives aesthetics and aesthetic value for the human being. And it also produces more food and it also creates an habitat for a living system, and it also gives nutrition, which is cycling from biotic to abiotic factor, and it also plays an important role in soil and soil retention, and it also plays a very important role in gaseous exchange by means of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Like last category is a regulating system, so it is a source of invasive resistant, and it is a source for pollination, and it also regulates climatic factors, and it also regulates pest and disease resistance and soil erosion and natural disasters. Anything else? Yes, students? Shall I ask some question? Did you understand? My dear students, could you tell me what are the services of ecosystem? Generally, how many types are there?
4 types.
What are they?
Provisioning
Services.
Provisions, cultural, very good.
Supporting.
Supporting,
Regulating.
regulating, very good, ma. Very good.
4 types:
4 types, very good.
provisional services,
Okay.
cultural services, supporting services, regulating services.
Very good, ma. Talking about the provision services, would you like to mention any provision services which we discussed?
Food, fiber, fuel,
Fuel, very good. Then
Genetic resources.
a genetic resource, very good, ma.
medicines,
Medicine, very good. So the major source of provision is a medicine, very good. Okay, very good, ma. Then could you mention the cultural services and cultural benefits?
education,
Education,
recreation, and aesthetic
recreation, recreation, right? So if you are mentally depressed, so when we go for forest or when we go for any grassland ecosystem or when we go for any botanical garden, our mind is going to be recreated, and also that creates aesthetic sense, aesthetic value, that increases aesthetic value, right? Understand? So if you go to botanical garden of Ooty, you can recreate yourself, right? And you can increase aesthetics and aesthetic value also. Understand? If you go to any other park or any other zoo, right? If you go to any other park or any other park and botanical garden, or simply they are a very big ecosystem, right? Ecosystem. Okay. Could you talk about supporting services?
provides habitat,
Provides habitat, very good.
nutrients,
cycling.
Okay, talking about habitats, could you
Water
list out any
cycling.
habitat? Can you mention any habitats that we have discussed previously? Hydrophytes, hydrophytes, very good. 0. Very good, ma. Okay, and then could you mention any points of supporting services?
soil formation and
Oil
retention,
formation, very good, ma. They're very good. And when we talk about the regulating services, can you mention any regulating services?
Invention resistance.
Okay, invasive resistant one, and very good.
pollination,
Pollination, and it also
Pest
provides-
regulation.
Right, very good.
Climate regulation.
Animal regulation, very good. Very
pest
good.
regulation,
Pest regulation, disease regulation, soil erosion also regulated.
Natural
Right.
hazard protection.
Very good. So these are all the benefits of an ecosystem. Okay. Okay, talking about benefits. Who reported first?
Robert
Robert
Constanza,
Constanza. Robert Constanza. Will you mention the year? Could you mention the year?
1927.
1927. Very good. What are the major source of ecosystem? Yes, students, what are the major source which are provided by nature for human being?
Land,
Land, very good. Water,
vegetation,
vegetation, and atmosphere. Land is the place where we are living. Okay. Water, that is a source for everything. Water is the source for all the living organism for sustaining their life, right? Vegetation, it is a major part for food and shelter, for balancing ecological deviation. The next one, atmosphere. It is a place where we are recycling all the things, right? So this is a benefits of ecosystem, right? So thank you for joining, my dear students. I'm going to give you some question. If there is any question, please ask. If you don't understand any topic, please ask. Today I have taken two topics. One is stratification of what ecosystem, and the other one is benefits of ecosystem. Any doubt regarding the topic? Yes, students. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Right. Thank you for joining. And please take down some question. What I'm going to give you as a home assignment. Please take down and read the question thoroughly and prepare the content thoroughly. Right? Thank you for joining.